All right, Richard Skinner from the Inquirer is here. So is the former big leaguer, Dave Collins. Guys, you saw the poll question. Where will the Reds, now that we're 2 months into this season, finish this season 4 months from now? Will it be as division champs, the wild card, just out of the postseason money, or way out of the playoff picture? Skinny, what do you think?
Well, just out of the postseason anymore, you could be a 500 team and maybe be in the wild card
Right.
hunt. But I don't see this team as a 500 team. I know everybody keeps saying, wait till they get healthy. Well, when Mat Latos gets back, he's going to replace arguably a guy who's pitched great so far in Alfredo Simon. Yes, you've missed Joey Votto, but it's not like Joey Votto has been putting up Miguel Cabrera numbers. He's going to certainly be better than what you had in the Brian Peñas of the world. I just don't see this team having enough, especially offensively, to cut it.
Skinny, what do you think? I'm sorry, Dave, what do you think?
I agree with Skin. I don't think offensively they've got it. I think for them to make the playoffs, Votto and Phillips, one of the two would have to have a career year. I don't see that happening. And their outfield has just given them no production at all. And you've got to be strong in the outfield offensively. They don't have it. I don't see them winning one-run games. Their pitching have to carry them all year, and I just don't see them getting there offensively.
Now, Skinny, you had talked about Mat Latos when he comes back, potentially during this homestand. Alfredo Simon gets dropped from the rotation, but Brian Price alluded to the fact this week that that may no longer be a no-brainer situation where it's definitely Alfredo Simon.
No, but the point being, though, is will he pitch lights out better than what you've got? And again, I love Mat Latos. I think when he's right, he's one of the 5 to 10 best pitchers in all the National League.
Do you know he's 28 and 11 the last 2 years?
Yeah, outstanding. I mean, and he's the kind of guy that he maybe gives you one bad start out of 10, but 9 times out of 10, he's keeping you in ball games. That's going to help a little bit. But again, their starting pitching outside of a Homer Bailey primarily has been pretty good so far, and Homer's going to stay in the rotation anyway. So, you know, it's not like it's a huge help. You're pulling out a bad guy and putting in a great guy at this stage.
And then Billy Hamilton now out with the elbow injury. Dave, apparently on a throw from the track to third the other night. You ever have anything like that where you tweaked an elbow on such a long and hard throw?
No, I didn't. I was fortunate. Of course, I didn't have that good of an arm anyway, so they never worried about it.
He was always throwing to the cutoff man anyway.
So I didn't get hurt throwing to the cutoff man, but no, I've never had an injury like that.
Potentially scary. I mean, we've seen a million Tommy John injuries so far. We know he's not a pitcher, obviously, but you talk elbow, it's a scary thing.
Absolutely. And the goofy part, it was, you know, when it happened last night, it was kind of cool to see him try to make that throw in theory, but he had no chance to get the guy at third.
Right.
Not a good time to show off your arm. I mean, all you're going to do is put some stress on it that you really didn't need. Hopefully, it's just a little bit of pain, because it was very late today when they decided to drop him from the lineup. Hopefully, this is no more than just a little soreness. But again, that's a long throw to make, and maybe he popped it badly.
And that's where a veteran maybe does make that cutoff and doesn't try to show off the arm.
Yeah.
Joey Votto, speaking of veterans, eligible to come off the disabled list on Saturday. Not ready yet to return from that quad strain. Dave Collins could, however, begin a rehab assignment this week. And it sounds, you said it, Skitty, should be a fairly quick rehab assignment.
Yeah, hopefully when he gets back, hopefully he comes back and can step in and start producing Joey Votto type numbers, because he's been a disappointment offensively for him for the last couple of years. I mean, granted, he's done some good things on base percentage and is still a good hitter, but he's not driving in runs, and he's got to drive in runs.
You know, the sabermetrics guys love Joey Votto, and Joey told us at spring training, he was very candid and made a specific point of telling us he's not really concerned with his crude numbers. Skinny, at the money he's making, though, don't crude numbers have to be a factor?
Yeah, I mean, he's a middle of the lineup guy. I mean, when you're making that kind of money, you need to be Miguel Cabrera or a notch below Miguel Cabrera. I mean, that's what you're getting paid to do, which is, hey, great. I like sabermetrics too, but I also like somebody getting paid that kind of money as a corner infield position guy to not really be a glorified leadoff hitter, which is what he's been here for the last year and a half or so. He needs to come back, and when he's in the middle of the lineup, he needs to be a 560 to 580 slugging percentage guy. And look, if that means you take a couple less walks, I'm all for that.
Dave, am I way off in saying the sabermetrics is good for the Billy Beans of the world who are trying to build the Oakland A's on a $40 million payroll or whatever the case may be, and he's looking for a guy who can hit seventh and give him something there? I mean, isn't that really what it's reserved for, or am I way off base?
No, I don't think you're off base. I think the bottom line for me is, when I look at that situation, is everybody's role can be different on different clubs. And what do you need on this club? On this club, you need him to drive in runs. So you may have to sacrifice some of your on-base percentage and your batting average to drive in runs to make this team successful, and that's what he needs to do.
And I'll give Brian Price this. I mean, he tried to get him in a spot in the lineup in the 2-hole where the on-base percentage, which is his strength, was going to be good. The only problem is Brandon Phillips is not a 3-hitter anymore. Jay Bruce right now is struggling in the 4-hole. You don't have prototypical power drive-in runs guys behind him. If you had that, great. Let Joey be a 420 on-base percentage guy. Hit me 15 home runs, and I'll be happy with it.
And speaking of driving in runs, hitting home runs, first of all, the Reds had only home runs today, so that was a good sign. Heisey and Ludwig. Devin Mesoraco, my goodness. I mean, it sounds like we could just queue up the same conversation every week, but what was the last time, Dave, you saw a catcher produce like this?
Tell you what, he's a really great-looking young hitter. Offensively, the last catcher I've seen like that was with Mike Piazza and Posey from San Francisco. I mean, this kid is a great-looking young hitter and hits in the clutch, can hit in the middle lineup, and can hit good pitching. And that's what I like most about him, is he can hit good pitching.
All-star?
As long as he stays healthy, he's going to have to get some more bats. You know, he doesn't even have 100 at bats yet, and he's at 8 homers and 25 RBI. I think he's been awfully good. And I'm just hoping if he can be your power guy, that takes care of a little bit of the problem we're talking about. But I got to see it for more long term than 100 at bats.
All right, 10-game homestand coming up starting on Tuesday. Big. We will talk about the first 6 games of those 10 games next Sunday night with these guys. Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.